Well, g'day adventurers. I've made it to Jaisalmer, which is pretty much as far west as you can go in India before hitting Pakistan. The view behind me is not the actual town, that is the new town. That is because the original town is this. A giant fort. Okay, so I've met Tony, and well, Tony's not actually your real name, is it?
No, it's my nickname I give to myself for the tourists so they can easily remember.
Right. Landed in this fort, this old town, but I don't really know anything about it yet.
No problem. My fort is started building in 11th, 12th century. This wall, the side wall, is starting building 15th century.
Right.
This means after 400 years, our fort is building.
So they didn't build the wall till 400 years after it was...
This is 15th century they started, and takes almost 100 years to build this whole fort boundary.
So you touched upon the Silk Road before, and I guess is that the reason why this town exists, or the reason it prospered? Because it was, I think it was central to the route from Asia across to the rest of the world?
It was the Silk Route, last almost 5,000 years or maybe more than that.
Right.
But the reason of the making for the protection people, and always we are fighting with our neighborhood cities like Bikaner, Jodhpur, Jaipur peoples.
Right.
This fort is kind of, according to my knowledge, is unbeaten fort. Nobody beat this fort yet.
So back in that time, all these forts were separate villages, and they were all warring with each other.
All war each other.
It wasn't a united country like it is today.
Yeah, all the time Jaisalmer was a different country. The rule and regulation totally different.
Right.
My fort is near about 872 or something like that.
So very, very different times back then.
Yeah, that's true.
So you said this was named after the king, right?
Yeah.
So what happened with the king, I guess, through time?
Almost 200 to 300 years ago, the king living over there outside the fort. This is only, I think so, one fort. The king is not living in the fort.
So the king didn't even live in the fort in the end?
Last 200-300 years.
Right, and I think the king started the trend because, as you can see below us, is it when was all this developed down here?
The 70% houses is built in the last 30 years. From that water tank, when you see in the corner there, yellow water tank, from there to when you see the hill.
Right, so the fort's been here for like hundreds of years, yet in the last 30 years, this new town's appeared out of nowhere. All right, well, thank you very much, Tony, and
it's my pleasure.
Thanks for the info, and I'm going to explore this town a little bit more.
It's the best way we say namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, for as being Indian.
Yes, well, we're in India, so namaste.
Namaste.
For a different type of tour, you can also walk around the perimeter of the wall. There's the wall there, and this kind of goes all the way around the fort. It's about a 5-kilometer trip all around if you're up for that. good to do in little sections because you can pop out in interesting places across the city. Like here. The main thing to see though is to basically get lost in all these little alleyways that cross around the city. You don't know what's going to be around the corner. Could be a temple, could be a shop. When I booked my ticket from Delhi to Jaisalmer, I was unaware that certain classes have a wait list, and I got on the train and realised I was number 40 in the waiting list for my class. In the end it got sorted out. I just had to dip down a class to the sleeper cabin, which is considered to be the uncomfortable way to travel, but I thought it was fine. So because of that, I've had no plans for this trip since then. So I just walked into the train station then and got a ticket to Jodhpur. I have a ticket, so I know I can get on this train and sit down, which will be a lot better than before. I'm assuming it's just in the general class, but it's only a 5-hour train ride, so it shouldn't be too bad. Only 5 hours is quite close here. The other option was to take the bus. I thought the train, even in sleeper class, is a better choice.
I will try.
After an out-of-this-world experience in the sand dunes and in the Fort City, I have some time to think as I watch the landscape pass by. This train is taking me into the sunset, to a new place and a new state of mind. The carriage was simple, though that's why you come to India. To see, to feel, and most importantly, to experience.